My name is Maher Abiad, and I'm a Nolimitspreneur.
You're now locked onto another episode of the Nolimitspreneur Podcast, the show that helps you dominate in life and in business to enhance your mindset, confidence, productivity, time management, habits, and goals. And now, your host, Maher Abiad.
Hey, welcome everybody to another Nolimitspreneur Podcast episode. I'm your host, Maher Abiad. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me today. I'm so happy to have you here. Today's a very important episode for me because it's definitely been one that's been life-changing. The events that have kind of culminated have really been eye-opening, have really helped me to develop to where I am right now. And I wanted to share some of these stories with you today, so in hopes that you would get some inspiration from them as well and get some ideas on how you can better your life. And today's podcast episode topic is about accountability and who we're actually really accountable to at the end of the day. So I've always wondered over the last couple of years especially, why am I not at a level where I've wanted to be? Or, I see myself at this stage, but physically I'm not at that level. Even though, I have the same information that others have, and some people have gone this way and I've gone this way, but why haven't I been able to achieve that type of success? So realizing that personal development was the key over the last little bit, and really starting to focus on myself has been very, very important. And realizing that in order for my situation to change, personal development, my personal development would have to change in order for myself to become a better business owner, for myself to become a better husband, a better father, a better son. And a few months back, I really started working on myself in terms of focusing on that personal development, on that mindset, on that confidence training, and really wanting to be able to have a better routine in my life so I can accomplish what it is that I want to get done. So, for example, I set up some routines and some habits to get up early, to go to the gym in the morning, to get up early in the morning, go to work, and things that would benefit me, not just in the short term, but obviously in the long term as well. So I really started focusing on being able to doing this for myself. But I started hitting roadblocks and I didn't know why. I had all this inspiration, this motivation, this kind of drive, but something just wasn't working out as planned. So, to tell you a little bit of some stories that kind of guided me into this sort of epiphany moment. So for the last number of years, I've been doing client work, digital marketing type work, and I've had a number of clients. And I would realize that, and this hit me recently, that when I'm working on client stuff, I'd be really focused on client work. I'd be really, I'd know exactly what I need to do. I'd know exactly how long everything's going to take, and I would focus on it. I would get it done and, be able to, put 100% effort into that. But then I started to realize that the work that I was doing for myself, for growing my own business, so stuff now I would be doing for myself, why I wasn't efficient in that regard. And it wasn't up until recently that it really started to hit me. All this stuff started to kind of come together, especially over the last couple of months. And this is why I really wanted to share this with everybody today, because it's been so important to kind of see this in my own personal development, that I want you to see it in yours. And I want you to, take a step back from where you are in life right now to ask yourself, am I in the same position? And why am I doing the things that I'm doing? And why am I not achieving that level of success that I think I should be actually achieving? So I'd be laser focused on other people's stuff. I'd be focused on everyone else's work, my clients' work. But when it came to my stuff, things would take longer. I wouldn't be as focused. I would allow things to drag out longer. If I wanted to, create a sales funnel or something like that, I would take my time. I wouldn't have that sort of commitment to it, or that conviction to get it done quickly, get it done, well. And it really started to come to light recently. And this story adds up to another story, which was sort of the epiphany moment. So there was a morning, 4 a.m., I wanted to wake up. The alarm goes off, and I know I needed to get up. I needed to go to the gym. I needed to get work done. I wanted to get my life off to a great start. And, that's what I told myself, that I need to, really work on my own things so I can start moving myself forward. I'm transitioning from client work, marketing work, getting out of that sort of realm and more into the personal development, training, the coaching, the mindset training, the confidence training, productivity, really just stuff that will move the needle, not just in my life, but I know will help so many of you in your lives as well. And this is when I really had that moment. So I'm lying there in bed, and it's 4 a.m. It's cold outside, cold inside, cold outside. It's dark. It's raining. And the alarm goes off, and I'm like, okay, I know I got to get up. But I just don't feel like it. But I know I got to get up. Maybe, okay, let me snooze once. I know it's still a little bit groggy. Let me just wake up. And then this is when years of not accomplishing what I want to accomplish in life really started to come together. And it was at this moment where I really realized why I wasn't getting to where I wanted to be in life, why I wasn't where I should be. And it was because at that moment, that 4 a.m. moment, I realized two things specifically. That if I was to get up at 4 a.m. and get my work done, go to the gym, do what I needed to do to get ahead before, the family woke up or everybody else wakes up, right? That there would be nobody there to pat me on the back and to say, you know what, Maher, good job on getting up. Good job. You said you were going to get up, and you got up, and you got work done, and you went to the gym, and you made your cup of coffee in the morning, and you were productive, and you did what you said you were going to do. That was on one side of the coin. The other side of the coin was, if I slept in till 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., whatever the case may be, if I slept in and I said, you know what, I'll just do whatever I need to do later on in the day, that's fine. I can always go to the gym later. I can always work on my new website or new YouTube episode or whatever the case may be. If I was to get up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, there would be nobody there to scold me, to tell me, or to yell at me, to say, you know what, you didn't wake up. You slept in. You didn't do what you said you were going to do. You missed out on going to the gym. You had all these things that you could have been doing. Now you could have been 4 hours ahead, but now you're starting from zero. And it was that morning that I was like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. And that's like when my whole outlook on everything changed. And this is probably something that for you will change as well. That there's nobody that is going to come up to you to congratulate you on where you are, on what you've accomplished now. And then there's, on the other side of it, there's nobody to tell you you didn't do a good job, or you should have done this, but you didn't. So this podcast episode is definitely so profound for so many reasons. And all these years, working and life and in businesses has really transcribed into, oh my goodness, there's nobody that I'm accountable to. And this is something I really wanted to share in this podcast, because for a lot of you, I think it's the same type of thing. If you feel like, you're not reaching your ultimate success, whether that be going to the gym, there's nobody going to be there to say, hey, great job, you came to the gym, good stuff. You're going to get ahead today. You're going to be one step closer to your goal of getting fitter, losing weight, whatever the case may be. But on the other side, there's also not going to be anybody that's going to tell you, hey, so-and-so, you didn't go to the gym today. Negative marks. So we don't have that accountability to anybody in most things that we do in life. And the comparison between when I was doing things for other people, my client work, versus myself, I realized that I was accountable to my clients. So I really had to show up for them and make sure that I got the job done quickly, efficiently, the right way. But when I was working on my stuff for myself, I had nobody to answer to except myself. I knew what I needed to do, but there wasn't sort of that external person or force to tell me that I was doing a good job or that I should have been doing this, but I didn't. So that's where this episode is really going to be important for a lot of people. So how did I help myself? I realized that, I really need to start being accountable to somebody. But who was that somebody? That was the key, and that's where my life really turned around. And that's where I really started to structure things. I really started to realize that in order for my life, my business to improve, I really needed to start focusing on this accountability. And if I didn't, then tomorrow is going to look like today. And that's exactly what's been happening over the last few years. Why I haven't been able to accomplish the level of success that I felt that I deserved, that I needed, that I should have been at. And the person that I am right now today is not the same person that's going to be at that level of success in, say, a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. So with anything in life, you are where you are right now because of all the choices and decisions and things you've done prior. So your level of success right now, or your efficiencies, your inefficiencies, whatever it is, has all been leading up from what you've done in the past, has gotten you to this point right now. So what I also realized, my other epiphany moment over the last few years has been that for my life externally to change, I had to change myself internally. So the person that's the successful business owner, that's the successful, life coach, YouTuber, successful running, successful, podcast, doing coaching and training and seminars and webinars and all that jazz and writing successful books. That person was a different person than who I am now. And in order for me to achieve that level of success that I need to be at, I need to change. My mindset has to change. My confidence has to change. My productivity has to change. My routines have to change. Everything has to change. The version of me that's going to be able to get everything done that I want to be able to get done is not who I am now and not who I was. The person I am now is completely different than the person I was a couple of years ago, even 10 years ago. I'm a completely changed person because I've realized that for me to receive the output, the input has to be different. And that input, the person who I am now can't do it. I have to physically change. I have to psychologically change. My outlook has to change. The language I talk to myself has to change. And that person has to be completely different. So that's what I said. The Maher Abyad in 10 years from now is the one that I have to be accountable to. The Maher Abyad in 20 years from now and 30 years from now. So my aha moment was the one that I have to be accountable to, the one that's waiting for me to accomplish so much now is my future self. And for you, it's your future self. If you want to be better in your relationships, better in your health, better at your sports, better at playing the piano, better at your business, better at entrepreneurship, better at your personal finances. You're the person now you're creating this input and you're getting the output and you're seeing it right now in real time. But what you have to understand is if you want your life to change, the person that you're going to be in the future can't be the same person that you are right now. Because if you're the same person right now in the future, then you're going to be putting in the same inputs. So guess what? Your outputs are going to be the same and you're going to be in the same spot. Because if everything was hunky-dory now, you would be getting the results that you're getting, that you should be getting, that you want to get, but you're not. So that means you right now are not the same person that's going to be able to achieve that level of success in the future. So for me, what I realized is the person that I need to be accountable to, the person that I need to remind myself that I need to be accountable to, that's waiting for me to change, to be better, to take more action, to stop wasting time, to focus on the important stuff. That's my future self, because that's the one person that I'm eventually going to get to meet and be at that level. And if I don't change now, if I don't focus on the right things now, I'm going to disappoint my future self. And I'm not going to achieve that level of success that I want to achieve. So I solved my sort of accountability problem by having somebody to be accountable to, and that's my future self. And I think for you as well, who do you want to be in the future? What's your perfect you in the future? A month from now, what do you want to be like? Who do you want to be? A year from now, 10 years from now, 20, 30. And that future self is the one that you have to constantly remind yourself that you need to be accountable to, that you don't want to let down. It's like you go to the gym right now. When you go to the gym right now, and same for me, when I go to the gym right now, I might not push myself as hard as if I was, for example, with a personal trainer. I had a personal trainer back a number of years back, and the personal trainer was great because they pushed me, and I was doing things I didn't think I could do. And this is why it's so important to not let your future self down. Just like right now, going to the gym and you're, with your personal trainer or whatnot, as an example, you don't want to let them down because they're there to help you. So your future self is there to help you now and into the future. Because the work that I do today, I'm not really going to see the results today or the work I do tomorrow, the next day after that, a few weeks, a few months from now. It's the work I do from now up until 10 years from now. That's when I'm going to see all the hard work, the sweat, the tears, the long nights, the work I put in now, tomorrow, the next day. All those small actions that look like they don't really matter. You're not really seeing much from them. But 10 years from now, if you put in the hard work right now, day in, day out, consistently, your future you is going to be thanking you. You're going to be thanking yourself for all the days, the long nights, whatever it is, staying up late, writing a book, working on your health, trying to grow yourself. That future self is going to thank you. And it's really important right now that you focus on your accountability to that person. You're going to be the same. You're you now, in the past, and the future. But the way you think, the way you act, your goals, your objectives, your mindset, that's a different person. And that's the person that's going to be able to achieve that level of success that you want. So I don't want to disappoint my future self, and I don't want you to disappoint your future self too. So it's really important that you realize a couple things. You need to put in the work now. Don't wait till 10 years when the time is right, when you have more money, when you have more time, or when you think you have all of that. Because that day is never going to come. You need to put in the work now to achieve the level of success that you want to achieve in the future. For you to build a brick wall, you need to focus on knowing what your final objective is, and then refocusing back on the now. The little brick, that one little brick that you can put on that wall. That first brick. Doing it great today, and then tomorrow doing another perfect brick. And then eventually, in a month, you have this perfect wall because you've spent the time just focusing on the little things, snowballing, gaining momentum. And then in the future, that's when you're going to see all the results of your hard work. But you have to really have that mindset shift. You have to really be accountable to somebody. Otherwise, there's going to be days when you need to go to the gym and you know that. And that willpower is not going to be there. But you need to have that strong why that's external from you. You need to be not only accountable to yourself, but you need to know that your family's counting on you, your friends are counting on you, your community is counting on you, your work colleagues might be counting on you. People are counting on you to make sure things get done. And that's why it's so important to always have that in the back of your mind when you don't feel like it. And that's why discipline is so important. Because that discipline is going to get you that success in your future. And that's really important to focus on that accountability. So that's one thing I really wanted to discuss today. Start being accountable to your future self. You're going to notice a world of difference. Your life is going to change. So many times you're going to not feel like it, but then you're going to say, no, you know what? Me in the future is waiting for me now to take action. and I can't let that person down because I want to see the level of success that I know I deserve. No matter what that level of success is or what that success looks like. It's different to everybody. It's not just money. Let me just get that straight. It's not just money. It could be what's important to you. And for you to reach that level of success, I want you to focus on yourself right now. Improve yourself right now because you do deserve to reach that goal, that dream that you have. Nobody's holding you back. Only you is holding you back. And once you realize that, once you take ownership of the good and the bad that happens in your life, then you start realizing that you have more control than you think you did. You start taking away control from other people, that you start blaming others for why things are not working. But at the end of the day, you're accountable to yourself. So make sure you don't let that future self down. And this is why it's so important, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, to have a mentor, to have a coach, to have a trainer, because you need somebody to push you. And it's great to invest in yourself in that way. So that's something else that you definitely want to look at as well. Because you definitely don't want to let that person down. I didn't want to let my personal trainer down. I didn't want to let my clients down. But when it came to me and not having to respond to anybody or nobody telling me good job or bad job, then I just let things slide. I procrastinated. I became lazy. I knew what I needed to do, but I didn't do it because my why wasn't strong enough. My accountability wasn't there. So this is something I really wanted to share with everyone today, and I really hope you got some benefit out of today's episode. And I really want to bring more pure value like this to every single No Limits Preneur Podcast episode. And I really want you to live the best life possible that you deserve. And if you have your own business, to be the best that you can be at growing that business and in your entrepreneurship journey as well. So thank you so much for tuning in to another No Limitspreneur podcast episode. I really hope you got some value out of today's episode. If you did, share it with a family member, a friend who you also think might benefit from this. And I really want you to come back for another episode. I'm going to be bringing on guests in the future that also are No Limitspreneurs, that also will be sharing their struggles, but their wins and how they overcame those struggles to achieve the level of success that they did. And I can't wait to share that with you. So thank you again for tuning in. My name is Maher Abyad. You've been locked on to another amazing episode of the No Limitspreneur Podcast. I hope you have a wonderful day.
You've been listening to another quality episode of the No Limitspreneur Podcast with your host, Maher Abyad. Want to continue to master your mindset? Download the 7 self-limiting beliefs that are stealing your success away guide for free right now at nolimitsmindset.com.